Hello my people, welcome to another tutorial. My name is Agnes. In today's tutorial I'll show you how to do this cardigan. It's chunky. I use chunky yarn. The stitches are easy and it's very fast to make because the yarn is chunky, and you can make this in any size. I will be telling you how you can adjust the sizes and give you some of the measurements, and also you can find my written patterns on online shops. You will find the links in the description box, and for those who have been buying them, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it so much. All right, for the yarn I'm going to be using Durable Dare. This is size 5 yarn or chunky yarn. You can use any yarn that you like, and it's 100 grams per skein. I will note the number of skeins that I use. It's 99 meters per each skein, and it's 80% anti-peeling acrylic and 20% polyamide. Polyamide, oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm using 3 colors. This is orchid, and this is pastel blue, and this is lemon curry, all from Durable Yarn. I will leave the links on where you can shop the yarn or check out the yarn in the links in the description box below. It recommends 6 to 7 millimeter hook, but I don't have that, so I am going to use a 5.5 millimeter hook for me. And you'll need scissors, and you're also going to need tape measure. All right, so let's start. We're going to start with the back panel and then work front panels and then sleeves. So I'm going to start with the ribbing at the bottom, and we're going to start with the back panel. So for the ribbing, you're going to make a slip knot, and I am going to chain 3 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I keep measuring just to see if I have the 3 inches. So you can make this wider or not. So I just add one stitch like this, and then we are going to be doing half double crochets. So I will add chain 2, yarn over, then I'm going to skip these 2 that I added, and into the third one I am going to make a half double crochet. So I have 3 loops and pull through all. Then go ahead, yarn over, go into the second one, 3 loops, pull through all, next, pull through all, next, like this. So I am making half double crochets in every chain. So this is going to be my last one, and let's see how many I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 half double crochets. So you can make this longer or shorter depending on what you like. All right, so for the next row, it's going to be in the back loop only. So you're going to chain 1 and 2, and then you're going to turn your work, right? And we are going to be working in the back loop, so chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so you will yarn over, and this is where we are supposed to work only in the back loop. So normally you'd work under these 2 loops like this, but we are only working in the back loop. So you're going to go into that back loop of the first stitch, pull through, yarn over, back loop. That's 2, that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so on every row you're going to have 8. So we're just going to keep repeating this row 2. So you chain 2, and then you turn your work, right? And then only in the back loop in this first chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so I work only in the back loop, and you're going to do 8 half double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, only in the back loop, like this, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the last one, see here, 8. All right, so repeat row 2, and you're going to do this until you have the measurements that I have put at the end of this clip. All right. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 rows. And in these 21 rows are equal to 15 inches for extra small. For the other sizes, you'll do what's on the chart. And now we're going to work from here on upwards. So these rows right here, we'll be working 2 stitches in every row. You see these rows here, we'll be working 2 stitches in every row. So since I have 21 rows, I should end up with 42 stitches, but plus 1. We'll add 1 stitch to that. So we're going to be working single crochet row first. So you are going to chain 1, and that plus 1 stitch we are going to add it at the beginning. So chain 1, and this is where we are going to work our single crochets, right? But we are going to make the first single crochet right here. So this is our extra single crochet. Your number of rows should be double. Your stitches should be double the number of rows plus 1. So first single crochet, we put it in there, right? So forget about that. Now we need 2 in every stitch. So that means it's 4 in every 2 rows. Okay, so you're going to put your, let's say the first one in here in the middle of the stitch, and then at the top of the stitch. Forget about the first one, that extra one, right? So in the middle of the stitch and at the bottom of the stitch. So this is 4 of them in the 2 rows, not counting the first one. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 in the first 2 rows. So in the next 2 rows, I'm going to make 4 more. So it's in the middle of the stitch, at the top of the stitch, in the middle of the stitch, and at the bottom of the stitch, this bottom here. All right, so you're just going to continue doing that until you get to the end of this row, and you should have an odd number of single crochets. Okay, we are working with an odd number of single crochets. So at the end of it all, count your stitches and it should be an odd number. So I'm coming to the end of the row, and like I said, middle of the stitch and top of the stitch. So that's the middle of the stitch, and our last one will be right here. So I have a total of 43 stitches from here to the other side. 43 stitches for me, because I had 21 rows. I have 43 stitches because it is times 2 plus 1. So now we are going to begin on a next row, which I want to change color for this one, and our next row will be a repeat row. So this first row was like the base row, so our next row will be a repeat row where it's a repeat of 2 rows. So one of them is this second row, and then the third row will be repeating row 2 and row 3. So reattach your yarn, and I'm attaching a new color. If you continue with that same color, you don't have to do this. So I'll just cut this off and then tighten this in with some knots. And once that is tight, then to start the row, you're going to chain 1, then you're going to turn your work, and our rows are going to begin with a single crochet. So you are going to make a single crochet in this very first stitch, and then you're going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and then into the 3rd stitch make a single crochet, then chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. And this is going to be our pattern for this row. It will be a repeat pattern too, so keep note of that. So you're going to do this until the end, and at the end you should have a single crochet. So I'm coming to the end and I have 2 stitches left, so which means I chain 1, skip 1, and then my single crochet as last stitch. In this very last stitch, 2 loops, single crochet. So our next single crochet row is going to be a row of single crochets but with the extended single crochet, and this will be our front part of our cardigan, the right side. So you're going to start with a single crochet, so make a single crochet in this very first stitch, and then you're going to make an extended single crochet. So you're going to go into the row below our first row. That's where you'll be working, right below the chain. This is first single crochet, and where we have a chain we go below. So this is where we have the chain, work into the single crochet below the chain, and then you pull up and make a single crochet. Next is a single crochet on top of that single crochet, and next is the extended single crochet which goes below the chain into this single crochet right here, single crochet, then extended single crochet, single crochet, extended single crochet. So you're going to do this until you get to the end of the row, and I will meet you there so that we can start on row 4. So we'll be just repeating row 2 and row 3. All right, so our row 4 will be the same as row 2, but I will meet you at the end. So I'm coming to the end and I have 2 stitches left. So under this chain space I make my extended single crochet, and then my last one is a single crochet. So next we are going to be repeating our row 2. So this is what we have so far. This is how it's looking like, and we are going to be repeating row 2, which is like a single crochet, then chain, skip, single crochet. So you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to make a single crochet first of all, and then you're going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch. Next is a single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1. So you're skipping the extended single crochet stitch. So chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, and you're going to do this until the end, and I'll meet you at the end so that we can start on the next row. And the next row will be the extended single crochet row. So I'll see you at the end. So I'm coming to the end. I have 2 stitches left, and I'm going to chain 1, then skip this one, and into the last stitch make a single crochet. All right, so now for the next row we are going to chain 1, turn our work, and it's going to be the extended single crochet row. So it's a single crochet first, and then we have a chain. Where we have a chain, we are going to work the row below, but in between that V there at the bottom. So you're working in between the previous extended single crochet. Then we work a single crochet, and then in between the previous V is where we work our V, our single crochet. Okay, so single crochet and then extended single crochet in between the previous extended single crochet. So you are going to just repeat this, and basically this will be the repeat of every two. You'll be repeating these 2 rows until you get to the length of your cardigan. You just have to know how long you want your cardigan to be, and then keep measuring, and once you get to that length, then we will come and do the front panels. All right, so this is the length of my cardigan, and I wanted to show you when you're changing color for this other part, you're going to change color after once you do the single crochet chain row, you'll change color, and then that's when you do this spiked single crochet, so that it's looking, you know, like this. So you first do the single crochet row, and then you change the color when you're doing the spikes. All right, in case you're changing colors, you can also, if you're doing it in one color, then you don't need to do all that. Okay, so let's see how many inches on my back panel. So I have 16 inches. Okay, so my back panel is 16 inches, and 16 inches is the same as about 40 centimeters. So we are going to do the front panels, and for the front panels I already did one. It's the same as the back panel, only that it's smaller. Okay, so the whole pattern is the same, only that's smaller. So I am leaving for the neckline, I'm leaving 1.5 of these, because I had, let's say I had how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 20, 21. I had 21 rows. And for the back panel, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8, 9. I'm doing 9 for the front panel, sorry. So the front panel, I'm doing 9 rows and 9 rows on this other side, so that's 18, which means I am leaving 3 rows for the neckline, and for the sake of measurements, 3 rows for me is about 2.5 inches, almost 2.5 inches. Okay, so this is how much I'm leaving. So I'm leaving only 3 rows for the middle, so I'll do 9 on this side, 9 on this side, and that's a total of 18, while on this side I have 21. Okay, so we are leaving 2.5 inches in the middle. All right, so I'm going to start on this one. It's the same, but I'll just show you for the sake of it. So we are going to begin with the same number of chains, and I had 10 chains for the back panel for the ribbing, so I will do the same. The width of my ribbing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 chains, then I skip the first 2, and into the third one I make a half double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it's the same. Then you chain 2, turn your work, and we are working only in the back loop. So I go into this back loop of my first stitch here. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so this is my first half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last one, which is 8. All right, so I'm just going to repeat this row 2 until I have my 9 rows. I'll tell you how many inches that is once I'm done. So this is my 9 rows. It's about 7. I made them loose, more loose than the back panel, so that's why it's a little bit bigger than what I had here. For the same I think I had about 6.5. So now here I have 7, but it doesn't matter. So 7 inches. So now we are going to start on our pattern, right? You remember how we did that, right? So we are going to chain 1, and we are going to make our first single crochet right here. So this is like the starting single crochet, right? And now we are going to make 2 single crochets in every row. So in the middle of the row and at the top. So I have 9 rows, so at the end of it I should have a total of 18 plus 1, 19. So in the middle of the stitch, at the bottom of the stitch, in the middle of the stitch, at the top of the stitch, in the middle of the stitch, at the bottom. So do until the end. So here goes my last one. Alright, so I have my 19 stitches, and now I want to change color. So my yarn is reattached, and my new color, chain 1, turn work, and now we do this first row, which will be a row repeat. So into the first you make a single crochet into the first stitch, and then you chain 1, skip 1 into the next stitch, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1 into the next stitch, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1 to the next one. And basically we are doing the same pattern like we did in the back panel, only that it is smaller. And then this is my last stitch here, like that. All right, so the next row, which is also a row repeat, we are going to chain 1, turn our work, and then double crochet, and then we are going to go below this chain 1 in the stitch below, single crochet, sorry, not a double crochet. So next is a single crochet, and next is an extended one, single crochet, next is an extended one below this stitch, single crochet, extended, single crochet. So you're just going to keep repeating this same as we did with the back panel until you have the same number of rows. like you did on the back panel. And once you're done, it should look like this. And then you'll do 2 of them, so I'll meet you once you have the 2 front panels. Same number of rows like the back. This is on the right side, wrong side. I'm done with my front panels, and this looks smaller than this because I tightened my stitches on this one, and these ones were very loose, so that looks different. But the number of rows are the same, everything, number of stitches the same. And we are going to join this to this back panel, and then we do the sleeves. So let's work on that now. So we are going to be leaving 4.5 inches towards the center, so you will need stitch markers. On this side we are attaching everything. We are not sewing everything together, but only this part to the stitch marker, and this other side that is going to the center, we are leaving that out for the hoodie, as well as on the other side too. So we are only working on this side towards the shoulder. That's what we are sewing together, towards the shoulder, and we are leaving this part right here. So this will work, however this we are not doing, so we need a stitch marker. So 4.5, and we will sew this together. All right, 4.5 on each side, and then put a stitch marker. And yeah, the other side we'll sew, we are leaving this part here like this, right? So it's 4.5 on one side, 4.5 on the other side. So I'm joining this like from the right side of the cardigan. That will be out, because I don't know, just trying something out. You can join from whatever side you want to join. I'm going to be using only the front loops, so I reattach my yarn, and I'm going to be joining only in these loops that are on the inside. So I will slip stitch like this. Just join it the way you like. So I do this until I get to where my stitch marker is, and where there's my stitch marker, excuse me, I will slip stitch in both loops, so the 4 loops, then chain 1, and it looks like this on the outside. I don't know why I did this, I just wanted to try out something, so it doesn't look bad, and I will keep it like this. So only where what stitch marker was, and you should have something looking like this. So you do both ends this way, do the same for the other side, and we have this open. For the sleeve, this is one of my sleeves. I already did one. We are going to be working in rounds, so you can also work it as a panel and join it later, or you can work it in rounds. I thought it was just, best to work it in rounds. It's faster. And we are going to start down here, work our way upwards. So for this, I started with 8 chains, so let's do that. So I'm going to make a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 8 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 chains. If you want your cuff longer, then you can do that. And these 8 chains are an equivalent of about 3.5 inches long. So we are going to skip the first 2 chains, and into the 3rd chain we are going to make a half double crochet. So yarn over, skip 1, 2, into the 3rd one, make a half double crochet. Next is a half double crochet in the next chain. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 6 half double crochets. So my cuff is actually about 2 and almost 3 inches long. So you can make this longer if you like it to be long. So chain 2 for row 2, turn your work, and in this first, only in the back loop, we are going to work 6 half double crochets in the 6 stitches. That's 2 only in the back loop, 3, 4, 5, and 6, my last one. All right, and we are just going to repeat this. So you chain 2, turn your work, and in the very first back loop here, chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so you work 6 half double crochets in the next 6 stitches. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so I'm going to do this until I have the cuff for my size, which is extra small. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I did 10 rows. Excuse me. And this is about 8 inches. Yeah, 8 inches long. So now I am going to join this on this side, so it stretches. And to join this, I am going to join using slip stitches, and I will work in the back loop of this side and in the one loop that is on the other side. So this first loop, so looks like this, and I am now going to start on working on the single crochets. So like before, you're going to chain 1. We're going to be working in rounds, like a round, and we're going to make increases. So you are going to watch this closely. I'll put in this first stitch as our first crochet, like how we started with the back panels and the front panels. And now in my next stitch, which is in the middle of the stitch here, I am going to make 1 single crochet, and in that very same stitch I'll make an increase, so I'll make 2 single crochets. So it's 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch 2 single crochets. And now my next stitch, which is here at the top, I'm going to make 1 single crochet, and then in my next stitch, which is right here in the middle of the stitch, I am going to make 2 single crochets. Okay, so we are making an increase like that: 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and then my next one is here at the bottom is 1 single crochet, and then next in the middle of the stitch 2 single crochets. All right, so next is 1 single crochet at the top of the stitch, and in the middle of the stitch 2 single crochets. At the bottom of the stitch 1 single crochet, in the middle of the stitch 2 single crochets. So in the middle of the stitch I have 2 single crochets, right? So I'm going to keep doing this until I get to where I started. Okay, so I went all around and I came to the end. So I have my 2 single crochets here. This was my last row here, and now I'm just going to go over on top of this first single crochet, and I need to change color, so I will not finish that off now. I take my other color, which is the blue color at the moment. I'm repeating this, so I am going to insert my hook on top of this first single crochet, and then I will finish it off with the other color, and then I'll chain 1. Okay, so I will cut off this, And now we are going to change direction. We'll keep turning our work just like we did just like we did with the other pattern. So I'll turn my work, and I need to tie this so that it is secure. So you're going to be careful here. When you turn your work, don't work in this, work where there's a single crochets, you know. So I'm going to go into this first single crochet here, and I chain another because this was for reattaching and it looks so small. Okay, so I'm going to go into this single crochet row, stitch here and make a single crochet. And you know what is next is a chain, and then you skip one into the next one, you make a single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet. And I'm going to do this until I come back to where I started. So I'm coming all around and I already have my chain, skip one, and this is my last single crochet, so I will put my last single crochet in there, and then I'm going to go on top of this first single crochet here and make a slip stitch. So a slip stitch, right? So we are done with this row, right? So it looks like this. And now for row 2, I'm going to chain one, turn my work. So now we're going to the spiked pattern. So do not work in this little thingy here. This is our first single crochet. That is where you work. So make sure you're working in the single crochets and nothing else. So I go to my first single crochet here and make a single crochet. And now you know we work in the row below the chain. Okay, so in this single crochet here below the chain, I work my extended single crochet. And next is my single crochet, then extended single crochet, single crochet, then extended single crochet. And you're going to just repeat this all the way around. I'll meet you here so that we can close it off and start on the next row. I'm coming to the end. So I have here my chain one, and this was my last single crochet. So under the chain one, I make my last spike. All right, and then into this single crochet, I will make a single crochet. Okay, so now I'm going to go into this very first single crochet and close off my round like that. Then I'm going to chain one, then turn my work, and now we are going to repeat this row 2 here. So I'll go into this very first single crochet, which is this one here, and make a single crochet, then chain one, skip one into the next single crochet, make a single crochet, chain one, skip one, and I'm going to repeat this until I get to the end of the round, and I meet you at the end of the round. So I'm getting to the end of the round. As you can see, I have the single crochet, I chained one, I'm going to skip this, and then there's a single crochet here. You might not see it, but it's always at the end. It's a bit tricky to see, but after this spiked one, there is always a single crochet, so you have to work in that, otherwise you might come across some problems. So now I'm going to go over here, over this single crochet and slip stitch, then chain one, and now we're going to repeat this row here, the spiked row. So I will look for where there's the first single crochet, which is here, and make a single crochet, and then where there's a spiked, I make a single crochet in between that V like this. You already know the drill. And then single crochet, and then extended single crochet, then single crochet, and then extended single crochet at the bottom here, like that, in between the V. And then you're going to continue doing that until you get here. making sure you have a single crochet at the end. So if you have your V here, then make sure you have a single crochet at the end, and you're just going to repeat this until you have the length of your sleeve. And as for me, from all the way down, I have about 16 inches of sleeve. Okay, so I changed colors just like I did with the front panels and the back panels after every 7 rows. Then the 8th row, which is the spike row, is when I was doing a different color. And yeah, so see you once you're done. So this is my sleeve, right? And I am done with my rows, and it is 18 inches long. So you're going to do the exact same thing for the other sleeve, so that you have 2 of them. And right here at the top, it's about 7.5 inches wide, so that makes it about 15 or round. Okay, so do 2 of them exactly like this and exactly like your first one and then we come and join them. This is my sleeve inside here, and this is where it ends. So I am going to put a stitch marker there like this, so that I know where I'm starting to sew in and where I'm ending. Okay, so this is how it looks like. And now we are going to sew like this all the way back here and all the way down. So I am going to attach this using a slip stitch. You can use any other sewing method that you like, but I will be using a slip stitch. So I'm going to go right here and then also on this side of the sleeve like this, and I'm going to be slip stitching. So reattach the yarn like that, and now I'm going to go into every stitch with a slip stitch. Just slip stitch around. Okay, so go all around like this. Once you get back here where we have a stitch marker, then now you slip stitch all the way to the bottom, and I will meet you down there. So we have our sleeve on now, on this side sewed, and now we are going to do the same for the other side. And once you have both sleeves on, then we come and do the hoodie here. All right, so I'll see you once you're done. All right, so for the hoodie, you see where we left off with this row of the extended single crochet, right? So now the next row, we are going to start with the other double crochet chain row. So we are just going to work like around like this all the way back here, and we'll keep going back and forth around this. Okay, so I'm going to start here to reattach my yarn. And then after I've reattached my yarn, chain 1 and then make a single crochet in that very first stitch. So just like before, we are going to chain 1, skip 1 in the next single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. All right, and then as you can see, it's following the pattern. And then at the corner here, let's go all the way to the corner. So chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1. So once you get to the corner, you have to assess the situation, because here I have this extended and here I have this extended. So it's like all skip 1, skip 1, and then single crochet. But what I'm going to do is, I already have a chain one here, then skip this first one, and in the middle here where we attached, yeah, I am going to put a single crochet in there, and then chain one, then skip one, and then now I'm on top of this single crochet. So single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, and I'm going to do this until I'm over here, and I will do the same, because here it's like skip one, yeah, and then I put a single crochet in this joining area here, then skip one, single crochet again all the way to the end. This is what we have here. Okay, so as I said, I go to the corner, I put a single crochet in this joining area. Okay, so we have our row one done, and I was changing color every time I did 3 rows of the spike, and then on the 4th row of the spiked or the extended single crochet, I change color. So even here I am going to change color. So I'll cut this and I attach my new color. So normally I would do this before I end the single crochet, so I'm going to end the single crochet with a new color, and then tighten this, and now we start on the next row. So the next row is going to be basically the same thing, the same pattern as we had before. So it's chain one, single crochet, and then where we have the spike, we are going to go in between that V, single crochet, extended single crochet, single crochet, extended single crochet, single crochet, now we are getting to that corner. So we have the extended single crochet right here, and then we have this single crochet that I put in the middle of the joining seam, and then next is the extended single crochet, which is down here. Okay, and then single crochet, and then we just follow the pattern to the end. So I'll meet you at the end of the row. So here we are, I went all the way to the end, and now the pattern is basically the same like we're doing these other parts. So as you get to the end, you chain one, turn your work, single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet. So you're just going to keep going round and round and round and round and round, and I will meet you once we have the number of rows that we need. I will tell you how many we need. So I'm done with my rows, and let's see how many inches these are. I did from here all the way up, I did 13 inches. So I did 13 inches long, and I ended my row with a spike row. So what we are going to do now is just sew this top part together. So I'm going to use my darning needle to do that. You can also use a slip stitch if you like, or whichever way that you like to do it. I'm going to start from this side, the front, to this way. All right, so starting from the inside, we attach this, and then the inside out. So it's like inside out, inside out. All right, so I'm going to do this until I get to the end, and then we'll come and do the single crochet row all around this front area so that we can clean this up. So I'm done. This is how it looks, and so that we have our hoodie done. All right, so now you are going to sew in all the loose ends along this area and any other place anyway. So, and then we are going to make a single crochet row all around. I'm going to be using this color because this is the only skein I'm remaining with. All these colors are done. So yeah, I am going to start here at the bottom, and we reattach our yarn in this first stitch, and I'm going to make a single crochet, and I'm going to be working only in the back loop for this part only. So I'll go in with single crochets, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then now in this row I'm back to this other side, so I'm going to put a single crochet in every stitch. So that. All right, so I'm going to go all the way to the top around the hoodie and all the way back down to this side. That's what we have. I did all the way down here. We're going to sew in that loose end, and that's our hoodie. If you want, you can add a few more rows on the single crochet, but that's totally up to you. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like it. If you do and remake it, please tag me on social media. It's AC Crochet. It's on all platforms. Please share this video, subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed, and thank you so much to every one of you that buys my patterns on Etsy, on Yancy.com. I really appreciate your support. So I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye.